Hi everybody, it's me, a Vapist Wit, aka Moody Boo, and I'm back with a review of some tanks that I haven't heard a lot about, and so I thought I'd go ahead and review them. What the fuck? Run amok, don't fuck Chuck. So these are all by Horizon, Shenzhen Horizon Technologies, and I've heard P. Bissardo talk about the Atlantis as being the first sub-tank, you know, that has pre-built coils and all of that. Well, I'm sorry to disagree, but it wasn't the first. The SCION was the first. I had the SCION 3 weeks at least before the Atlantis came out to the public. Now, it may have gotten to some of the reviewers sooner because they get the prototypes and all that shit, but the general public, the SCION came out way before the Atlantis. Well, not way before, but at least weeks before. So, and this is a good little tank. Now, the Atlantis, I vaped on it. In fact, I have one of the batteries here. It's a borrowed battery because a friend of mine had a few of them, and so I borrowed some from them. Thanks to Spin Fuel e-magazine, though, I won a contest on there, and I have my own setup coming. My own Atlantis tank and my own Aspire sub-ohm battery coming, so I'll be able to give this back to her. But I haven't let her have it back yet because it works with my SCION so well. Oh, the flavor is really good. Now, I don't have the Atlantis right now, but it's coming. But I've used hers, and the airflow in the Atlantis is way better than it is on the SCION. But the SCION is a much quieter tank. When you take a draw, the Atlantis is much noisier. This one is much more discreet. And because the flavor or the air isn't quite as airy on the SCION as it is on the Atlantis, I think the flavor is a little better on the SCION, to be really honest with you. Now, I always vape it with full air holes, and it's just like a lot of the tanks. Let me show you that it's got, see those air holes? And it's got them on both sides. So when you just twist this, and that shuts them down or opens them up, you know, you just gotta move it. And I like full air holes, and it's on both sides. And it was cheaper than the Atlantis. So I think I paid $26 for this tank, and the Atlantis I think is like $35 at its cheapest. It's running anywhere between like $35 and $50 I'm seeing. So the SCION sub-ohm quad tank. And this says, it claims it's the first quad tank. You can get coils that are 0.15, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, and 0.8 ohms. I like the 0.6 because most of my devices don't go much below 0.5. So I like to have a little bit of wiggle room, so I do the 0.6s as my lowest. With the Atlantis, though, it's a 0.5 standard. That's pretty much it, I think, for the Atlantis. I don't think you can buy different ohm coils with that one, but I could be wrong. So it's cheaper. The airflow isn't quite as good as the Atlantis, but it's quieter and the flavor is a little better. Now the resistance quad coil optional, the different, depending on which ones you get, will work best with 10 to 55 watts without a burning taste. I've been using them on my IPV Mini, on this Aspire sub-ohm tank. I've used it on my Sigeli 50 watt, no problem. But of course I haven't used it really on anything else. Even though it says 10 to 15 watts, I don't think it would work on like a 15 watt device like an Ely Vistick. It works perfectly, and I believe the Aspire Atlantis, or the sub-ohm batteries by Aspire are 40 watt, I want to say. So I think on 30 watt devices, no problem. The coils are a little more spendy to buy. I'll show you what one of the coils looks like. I feel like I paid $15, I think, for a box of 5, which is a little spendier than some of the other coils. But I haven't, I finally changed the coil in this one, in my smaller SCION tank, sub-ohm tank, but I'd vaped hard on it for like almost a month. I'll pull one out and show it to you. And here is what the coils look like. And it says right on there, 0.6, 10 to 30, it says 0.6 ohm, 10 to 30 watt on there, which is nice that they have that on. BDC. Does that say BOC? What the hell does it? BQC. What the hell is BQC? So, and you can see the little windows for the wick. So I always pre-prime these. And you can see the coil there inside. And so I always pour a few drops of juice in there until I see these windows fill up with juice. And then I'll fill my tank and let it set for 10, 20, 30, 40, 90 minutes or whatever. I'm really paranoid about burning the coils out. So I always let them set as long as possible, as long as I can handle it. So anyway, and this tank is a 3 ml capacity tank. It's the bottom coil, you know, you take it out just like you do any of the other bottom feed tanks. You just unscrew this, screw out the coil, screw it back in, just standard like anything else. So I have my own drip tip on here. I've got a Vice drip tip on there, but the drip tip it comes with is fine. So, and it's 304 stainless steel and Pyrex glass, 510 threading, works with high wattage mechanical mod and digital mod. With the kit, you get a SCION quad tank and 1 extra bottom coil because it's loaded with 1 coil, and then you get 1 extra coil. So, and like I said, I think it was like 25, 26 bucks I paid for this, and it gives great vapor and it gives even better flavor. And it says it has a unique anti-leakage design, and I've had this thing a month and I've had no problems with leaking at all. So the coils, the sub-ohm coils, are BQC, bottom quad coils, and they work with 10 to 55 watt devices the best. There's 4 levels of these quad coils, and I know there's some debate about with these kind of tanks about the more coils you have, is it really better or not? Well, with this thing, it works. So I like the quad coil design. Might be why the replacement coils are a little spendier, because like I said, I think this was 15 bucks for 1 pack of 5. I have a couple of them. Why? Because I have 2 tanks. The other one is dun da dun da 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 da, the Tetra SCION. And look at this tank. I'll show it next to my Kanger sub tank so you can see the size difference. Is that crazed or what? It's quite a bit bigger as far as the width goes, but it's shorter than the Kanger sub tank. And actually I like the look of the Kanger sub tank on most of my devices better, because this one, as you can tell, just really would look hinky on there. I have used it on there, but there's quite a lip hanging over in the side, which I'm not crazy about. But I do love my Kanger sub tank as well, and I'm just going to give you a vape comparison. So that was the Kanger sub tank, which I love. I'll be doing a review probably on it. Can't promise anything. And then here's my Tetra on there, this honkin' thing. It's very heavy. It's my own drip tip on there. This one has a little bit of splashback, so I like using a longer drip tip. Keeps the e-juice out of my mouth, even though I only use 3 milligram or 6 milligrams, so it's not like it's going to kill me instantly. Let me check it. It says it's 0.5 ohm on this. And you can see how it hangs over quite a bit. And it just doesn't look good. I like using this on my Sigeli. So I don't have it on there now, obviously. But this is the hit from the Tetra. Nothing wrong with that. And I vaping them both at 27 watts. So, and it has very good flavor. Great production. But this beast, I think carries a comparable amount as the King or Sub-Tank. This one is, let me tell you, 6 ml capacity. Right there. That is like over half of my 10 ml bottle I had to put in there. And some of these though, it bugs me because you can't fill them all the way to the top. What the hell is the point of having this massive tank if you can't fill it all the way up? Now look at the King or Sub-Tank. This one you can fill to the top. That sucker is full. I mean, I vaped on it some, but it was full to the top. It's like full. This one, that's about as full as I can get it. I can get it a little fuller because I have vaped on it some. But look at all that wasted space. I don't know how true to 6 mLs that, well, it is 6 mLs, but a lot of the juice is down here where the coil is. And so I'm not sure why, you know, you see that with the Aero tanks too. There will be this huge air pocket up there that you can't get juice in, and I'm not understanding why they do that. That's nice. Great flavor. I'll put the Sub-Tank back on. Maybe. And the King or Sub-Tank has the push pin on the bottom so that it has a lot more depth that it can actually hit the device and make a connection with. The SCION does not have that. It makes it a little tricky getting it in there for a minute on the Sub-Tank, but SCION does not. It just has a regular old bottom on it. And it's got the same kind of airflow system as the smaller one. It's got the airflows on both sides. But I will say that the airflow is better on this King or Sub-Tank as well. There's more airflow than there is with the Tetra, but it's still a really good vape. And the Tetra, this one I think I paid $35 for, this monster tank. Whereas the King or Sub-Tank was like, I think I paid $45 for it. And because I pre-ordered it. Good flavor on that one too. I can't complain about any of these tanks. They're all fabulous. I can't wait to get my Atlantis though. I just can't even say thank you enough to Spin Fuel magazine for letting me be a winner. If you have a chance to check out Spin Fuel's YouTube channel, I would do so because they do a lot of contests. They have a lot of really good devices that they get their hands on. I've been reading their blog for a long time, their online magazine. But their YouTube channel is pretty new, and so they don't have a lot of subscribers. So I had a really good chance at winning that Atlantis. It was like under 200 subscribers. So, and it was only for subscribers. So check out Spin Fuel's YouTube channel. They're really, really nice people. I mean, they even upgraded it to 2-day shipping to get it here to me quicker. Even though with the holidays and everything, it's been more like 4. So. Great little devices. Let me see if there's anything else I can tell you about the Tetra. It uses the same coils as the regular SCION. So I did buy an extra box. I bought a box with each of the tanks to make sure, because I live in Washington and I don't want to pay $50 for it here in the next few months. So with a 95% tax increase, I still can't even believe that. It just makes me insane. Okay, I was already insane, but it makes me crazier. So I just think that's ridiculous. Ah, That's good stuff though. It also has the Tetra also has the 510 threading, 304 stainless steel and Pyrex tank. It's a 6 ml capacity, still uses the 0.15, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6 or 0.8 ohm resistance, which is optional in the when you buy the replacement coils. 10 to 55 watts without a burning taste, and I've never gotten a burning taste from my Tetra at all. I have with my smaller tank, like I said, using it at higher wattage. And to activate the Tetra, and I do this with all my tanks anyway, they say to the first 5 puffs use around 10 watts to activate the Tetra quad tank and let the e-juice be absorbed fully. I usually, you know, do some dry hits on it. I'll plug the holes, the air tank, you know, do a couple more just to make sure after I prime the coil and I've let it sit, I still do all of these things so I don't burn out the coil. And then I started at a very low wattage, and then I'll take a couple of real quick little hits on there to make sure it's working properly. And then I vape on, baby. I'm a vaping fiend after that. Really good stuff. So anyway, I think that's about it for the SCION and the SCION Tetra sub-ohm tank by Horizon. I think you guys should really check it out, especially if you're a fan of the Atlantis and the King or sub tank, which I really, really like my King or sub tank. I don't know if I'll do a review on it or not because it seems like a lot of people are doing reviews on it. Fabulous devices. I am so thrilled that there's sub-tanks out there with pre-made coils so I don't have to build and do all that shit. Because I'm not into all that happy crap. I like doing other things with my hands. So I will say I have, thanks to Twisted, telling us about the little add-on that you can buy for the e-grip. That little metal tank, you know, with the built-in tank inside of it. I love the Joytech e-grip. I think it's Joytech. Anyway, they now have the part where you unscrew in the bottom that, you know, is just the little screw part where you can pour your juice in and stuff, and where you change your coils and all of that. They now have an addition that I have coming of a one coil, monocoil little platform. They have the pre-made coils and they send you some cotton. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that because I didn't have to wrap the coils. And I think I'm smart enough to handle getting it in there and getting the wick in there and giving it a shot. I just want to see what it's like. I don't know if I'll like it. I don't know if I'll use it. But I wanted to see what it was like, and it was only like 13 bucks. Ain't nothing wrong with that cloud, and certainly nothing wrong with that flavor. So anyway, if you feel like it, come check me out on Instagram to see my matchups with the different perfumes, because I'm a perfume reviewer on Moody Boo Reviews YouTube channel. And I like, boy, my dogs have a lot to say today. Anyway, I like pairing the scent and the taste together, so I really discovered that perfume and vaping really can go together and really enhance each other's, the scent and the perfume and the flavor of the e-juice. So I've been posting a lot of my combos with that, you know, because I have 350 different perfumes, I think. I know, it's an obsession. Hello, my name is OCD. So I'm really enjoying pairing the flavors of the vape and seeing how it affects the perfume and vice versa. So you can check that on my Instagram. And please come like my Facebook page, Moody Boo Reviews, where I will post different videos on different channels that I have. Little pearls of wisdom. Okay, maybe they're stones of wisdom. But, and I do some day pairing there, because on Instagram I do the perfume I wear at night and what I'm vaping on at night, and then on my Facebook page I do what I've worn during the day for work and working out and things like that. So Anyway, if that interests you at all, come check it out and say hi. Other than that, I will see you guys soon. All right. Peace. Bow chicka wow wow. My husband's calling. Hi, Love Nugget.